Children, please, put the cards away.
Pick up two, miss your turn.
How many twos is that? How many twos have you played? Darn it.
Hortense, Graham.
Miss your turn, miss your turn, miss your turn.
Miss your turn.
Darn it, darn it, darn it.
Darn it, darn it.
Shut up, Higgins.
Shut up, Higgins.
Last card.
Darn it.
Darn it.
Once again,
Darn it.
brains triumph over brawn.
And how much brains did it take to let Higgins bite your lip?
Bite your lip.
Shut up, Higgins. More than you.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's enough. How many times have I to tell you, children, we do not play cards at the dinner table?
In this game, the lower the score, the better the
You're
player.
not listening to me, Jenkins.
Right, so, madam.
Golf.
Well, I'm fed up with it. You know, they've neither
played
of
golf in
them
your
done
life.
an honest day's work.
Have to.
Have not.
Have to.
All they
Have
do
to.
is play cards, sit around,
I don't
eat,
have to play
drink,
golf anyway.
and watch
On
television.
It's
Quite
boring.
so, madam.
Boring.
They pay absolutely no attention to me at all. Until I start talking about their inheritance.
Inheritance.
What about our inheritance? Inheritance?
I've had it with you two layabouts. You're not getting any of my money. Not a penny.
Not a penny.
Not a penny. Not a penny.
Well, then who are you going to leave it to?
I'm leaving it all to Higgins.
Higgins?
Higgins. Higgins.
Leave all the money to Higgins.
Higgins, Mrs. Wells is leaving her money to a parrot?
It's not my place to question Mrs. Wells' will, but I am concerned about how the children will respond. Graham and Hortense can be extremely ruthless where money is concerned.
Do you think Mrs. Wells is in danger?
It's possible. At the moment, it's the parrot that stands between the children and the money. But I'd like to suggest that Mr. Turner come into the household to act as a bodyguard.
You want me to bodyguard a parrot?
Well, you'd also be watching Mrs. Wells, of course. I shall be taking my retirement quite soon. I thought you might operate under the guise of butler in training.
A butler? But Mr. Jenkins,
Please call me Jenkins.
I don't know how to butter.
Hold on, T.S. Mrs. Wells donates a lot of money to some important charities.
Yeah, I know, Terry. But butlers have to take orders.
The new community center, T.S.
Yeah, I know. But butlers have to wait on people. Butlers have to serve people. Butlers have to serve rich people.
A lot of kids are depending on the community center.
I don't believe Graham and Hortense are interested in charities.
But I can't be a butler. I just can't do it. No way.
Dinner is served.
Dinner is served.
We've got the wording correct. That's a start. Now, please, slowly. Articulated, projected, dignified. Dinner
Dinner
is served.
served.
Dinner is served.
Dinner is served.
I think he's got it.
I've got a plan.
You thought of a plan all by yourself.
Yes.
Well,
Well,
what's your plan?
Plan A.
That's a title, not a plan.
Plan A. Find Mother's will and destroy it. Destroy it. Simple.
Yeah, it's simple. Mother can always write a new will.
Oh, yeah. Well, we have to do something, Hortense. We need money to survive. Lots of it. I've got it.
What?
Plan B.
What's plan B?
Wait till dinner.
Dinner is served.
Serve. Serve.
What's so funny?
This little nightmare is about to be over, Hortense. I'm going to put Plan B into effect. Mother dear, how are you?
terrible. Where's Jenkins?
Jenkins!
Jenkins!
Are you uncomfortable in that stiff old chair? Can I get a cushion for your little back?
Just leave me alone.
Leave me alone.
Jenkins,
Leave me alone.
this new butler is not going to work out.
Oh, he'll improve, madam.
Are you eating enough, Mother? Look, you barely touched your soup.
Get away.
Get away.
Oh, Jenkins, I wish you would discuss this with me.
We discussed it yesterday, madam.
No soup? How about some bread?
Oh, I seem to be forgetting everything lately. Oh, stop. Jenkins, you cannot retire. You cannot leave me alone with these moronic children.
Turner will be here.
I'll butter it for you.
Oh, but things keep on breaking down. Look at the telephone. The problem with the telephone, remember?
Turner will take care of it, madam.
Mr. Turner.
I'm not finished.
Oh, sorry, ma'am. I mean, madam.
Miss.
What?
Miss, not madam. I'm not married, you idiot.
That don't surprise me.
Not married.
Oh, stop this sycophantic doting. Why can't you be a man and admit that all you want is my money?
Money.
Right, Mother. I'll be a man about it. All I want is your money.
Money.
Please. Please, I'll do anything, Mother. Anything. Anything at all.
Anything.
Anything? Anything.
Anything.
Then get a job.
A job? You want me to get a job?
I'm going up to my room.
A job?
Graham, plan B was pathetic.
Aren't you going to answer it? The door. Don't you hear the doorbell? There it goes again. Who is it? Who's there?
Nobody. I mean, no one to see you, madame.
What do you mean? There it is. Can't you hear that? Of course there's someone there. Harold. Harold, I'm coming, dear. I'll let you in.
Who's Harold?
Mr. Wells, he's been dead for 20 years.
Where did you go, Harold? Where did you go? Harold! I heard you. I came as fast as I could.
Come along, madam. You'll feel much better in the morning.
Oh, all these voices, so confusing. It's all going round in my head.
It's time to use Plan C.
Plan C.
C for chocolate. Your greatest love and worst enemy.
Chocolate. Chocolate.
What are you doing? Trying to kill him?
Chocolate.
You know he's allergic to chocolate. Besides, Mother can always buy a new bird, and she can always write a new will.
No will. No will.
The problem is not Higgins.
Well, I'm the one coming up with all the plans. Why don't you think of something?
Makes you think I don't have a plan already.
You mean you thought of something? What shall we do?
Wait.
Wait.
Why, can't you remember?
No, we wait.
We wait. But she's crazy. She's liable to do anything.
That's exactly what I'm counting on.
You know, ordinary butler. It appears to me that you do everything around here. And Graham and Hortense, well, they don't seem to me the type to even say thank you.
That's true. But I've always had an excellent relationship with Mrs. Wells. In fact, she's provided me with a very generous pension.
But what about the will? I mean, she planned to leave a whole fortune to a house pet.
I've no control over that, Mr. Turner. But now that you mention it, I did tell Mrs. Wells I'd have the new lawyer look over the will. Perhaps you'd give it to Miss Taylor? Now I think it's time for bed.
Margaret? Margaret?
Harold,
Margaret?
where are you?
Happy birthday, darling. Happy birthday. Are you surprised?
It was Harold. It was Harold. He was here. I saw him. He spoke to me. He wished me happy birthday.
This is
piece of cake.
Wells residence. Oh, hi, Terry. I hope you got some good stuff. I gotta get out of here fast. What do you mean Jenkins is the executor of the will? Jenkins! We gotta talk.
Yes, in a moment.
Now. I just got through speaking with Terri, and she tells me that according to the will, if Higgins dies, everything goes to you.
Well, if she told you that, she probably also told you chances are the will may not stand up in court. The money is the least of my concerns.
What are you concerned about?
Mrs. Wells, that's all I promise you. This entire affair has been very taxing on her. I'm not sure how much she can stand at her age.
I'm glad you said that, because that's not all Terri told me.
Madam, I'm afraid I have some bad news for you.
Oh?
Miss Taylor, your new lawyer, just called. The children's lawyer is going to contest the will. Graham and Hortense are trying to have you declared incompetent.
Insane, you mean?
Please, madam.
Oh, just because I talk to my dead husband now and again. What's so crazy about that?
Please, madam. You must remember your heart.
Heart?
Harold?
Harold?
Yes, Harold. Look what your children are trying to do to me.
We weren't listening.
You can't do this to me.
Just watch us, Mother.
Yes. Because she's crazy. No doubt about it. My mother is crazy.
Objection, Your Honor. Mr. Wells is not qualified to judge his mother's mental state.
Sustain, please, Mr. Wells. It is only your opinion that your mother is crazy.
Okay. It is only my opinion, but I should know.
Your Honor, I'd like to present Exhibit H.
Exhibit H.
What a magnificent bird.
Your Honor, this is highly irregular.
Highly irregular.
Yes, it is, Miss Taylor. Highly irregular.
Highly irregular.
Now, Graham, can you identify this parrot?
I certainly can. It's Higgins. It belongs to my crazy mother.
Objection, Your Honor.
Objection.
Now, Graham, is this the same Higgins who was named in your mother's will as the beneficiary of her entire fortune?
The very same.
Very same.
How are we doing, dear?
Miss Wells, how long has your father been dead?
Over 20 years.
For 20 years.
20 years.
And yet your mother still carries on conversations with him.
It's a regular occurrence around our house.
And isn't it also common for your mother to complain of the ringing of telephones and doorbells when in fact no one else can hear those sounds?
Yes, all the time. She's constantly answering the door and the telephone, and well, there's nobody there.
Nobody
In
there.
short, you'd say that your mother is experiencing auditory hallucinations.
Yes.
For some
yes.
time now.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. You're a witness.
Mr. Jenkins, isn't it true that Mrs. Wells' behavior has become increasingly bizarre over the course of the last year?
I wouldn't exactly say bizarre.
Well, isn't it true that she's been experiencing voices and noises that aren't real?
From time to time, perhaps. But that doesn't necessarily mean that...
And isn't it also true, Mr. Jenkins, that you have been named executor of the will and eventual beneficiary after the parrot's death?
Parrot's death.
Not for many years, Higgins.
If you're trying to suggest that I'm only interested in Mrs. Wells' money...
I'm not trying to suggest anything.
Margaret. Happy birthday, darling. Happy birthday. Are you surprised? Margaret. 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 Happy birthday, darling. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Are you surprised?
That's what I saw in my bedroom.
Your Honor, I would like to submit to the court that my client's hallucinations were merely a result of an elaborate technological fraud.
Your Honor, this proves nothing. We've already established that Mrs. Wells responds to voices and noises that no one else can hear. Now, how can you explain that unless the old woman is indeed nuts?
How dare you speak to me like that? I'm twice your age and I could still... What? What did you say? Turner who?
Thank goodness for auditory hallucinations.
What do you mean, you're my butler? My butler is Jenkins. Your Honor, Mr. Turner wants you to know that he's waiting just outside, and he will enter in a moment.
Mr. Turner.
Mr. Turner?
Mr. Turner.
Your Honor, my client's voices and ringing noises were also part of the deception with the use of this microphone transmitter and this, an ordinary hearing aid, but inside is hidden a tiny radio receiver. So in fact, what Mrs. Wells was hearing was quite
backfiring.
My plan? This isn't my plan.
Your Honor, here are the receipts for the purchase of the hearing aid and receiver.
The receipts are made out to Miss Hortense Wells.
You got us into this.
What are you talking about?
Do something!
It's a lie. I don't know anything about this stuff. It's a setup.
Setup.
It's a setup.
Setup.
The denial, Hortense, really good.
Mrs. Wells, how many people knew about your hearing aid?
Very few. You see, I was embarrassed at my poor hearing. I felt that it was something to do with aging. I thought my children would notice eventually, but they give me so little attention.
So who did know about it?
Oh, my doctor and Jenkins.
Jenkins knew that Graham and Hortense would contest the will, and he was also very confident that they would win. The real reason he hired my partner as a replacement butler is so that Mr. Turner could gather evidence against Graham and Hortense. You see, Jenkins knew that the only way he could get his hands on Mrs. Wells's money was to discredit the children.
You're absolutely right, Miss Taylor. Unfortunately, I made two mistakes. I didn't count on an old woman's vanity, and second, I employed you and Mr. Turner. It seems you did too good a job.
Good a job. Good a job.
It was simple to make a purchase of the equipment in Miss Hortense's name. You see, Miss Hortense is so dull and lazy that she doesn't even do her own personal shopping.
But why, Jenkins? Was it just the money?
No, madam. Not just for the money.
Then why?
25 years living as a mere chattel in this nauseous household. 25 years jumping to attention every time she or those obnoxious children raised a greasy finger. 25 years. And what do I get for that? Less consideration than the family parrot. Even when you named me executor, I knew it was just a ploy to try and put a scare into those obtuse offspring.
He's got the bird.
He's got the bird.
He's got chocolate. But Higgins loves chocolate. But he's violently allergic to it. One bite and he's a dead parrot.
Hey, that was my idea.
The only recourse left to me now is to find out just how valuable Higgins is to you. I'll be in touch.
Don't you dare!
Why is it always the butler?
Always the butler. Always the butler.
Effective immediately, 1/3 of the estate is to be set aside for the formation of a new charitable organization. It will be called the Wells Foundation, and the chairman is to be Mr. Turner. Upon Mrs. Wells's death...
Oh, stop it, you two. Positively salivating.
The remaining estate will be split evenly between the two children.
Half of 2/3, Hortense. That's
Still a fortune.
There are some conditions.
Conditions?
Effective till the age of 65, Graham and Hortense will be required to work full-time for the community project section of the foundation.
Work. She said work.
Not just any work. Social work.
Well, that's done. Now, how would you two like to be my guests for lunch?
Excellent idea, Mrs. Wells.
After you, madam. Mademoiselle.
Well, lunch? What about us? Who's gonna make our lunch?
It's time you two learn to do those things for yourself.
Do it yourself. Do it yourself.